Algernon's October with the check-in on Hip Hop United. And today, we're chopping it up with a man that's requesting a rubber for his microphone because he's too raw for the speakers. One of the hardest out of Savannah, Georgia. But his impact has been felt all around the world. His flow and overall aesthetic reminds us that the South still got something to say. Clay James in the building. How you doing, King?
I'm doing great. Doing great, man. I'm alive. I'm healthy. I'm blessed, bro.
Absolutely. You looking sharp as usual, my brother.
Appreciate
Born
you.
in the A, but raised in Savannah. Tell me about hip-hop culture in Savannah, bro.
It's I feel like it's just now getting the eyes on it that it needs to. Of course, you know, Big Boy from Outkast, he from Savannah. We from the same side of town.
Nice.
Really like same neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? His aunt and uncle stayed a few houses down from my grandma. So it's like that's like our I would say flagship artist per se. You know what I'm saying? You talk about Savannah, Georgia, and then we had Camouflage. Before Camouflage passed away, he made a lot of noise nationally. And I think the thing that really got the eyes on Savannah was the emergence of the younger cats. Like after me, you had Quando Rondo, and then you had Flau'jae Johnson, who is the daughter of the late great Camouflage. So now that it's more of us that are getting national attention, it's more people looking at Savannah, and now it's even more cats that's like on the underground and on the indie scene that's starting to emerge as well. So I think in the next couple of years we're gonna have like a real deeply rooted like underground rap scene, you know what I'm saying, that's gonna like take over nationally. Like how Detroit just got their wave and how Texas and Florida got their wave. I feel like it's gonna be the same way with Savannah.
Woo! Can't wait to see that, man. Now you've had a lot of legendary co-signers, you know, that basically coming up in the game, from Big Boy, Snoop, and even the homie Jay Nix here in Atlanta. How did you meet a lot of those prominent figures?
Big Boy, well, you know, we from Savannah, so his family members told him about me, and then I was up here, so his people up here told him about me. I believe Jason Jeter was the person that mentioned me to him, and then Shy Money XL, that used to be a part of G Unit, he mentioned me to him. So between those two, his little brother James, and then his cousins in Savannah, like Rasheen and a couple other people, it just made sense to him for him to link up with me. And what happened was, when I was at Georgia State, I tweeted Big Boy happy birthday. I did it every year. This time he saw it though. You know what I'm saying? So I tweeted him happy birthday. I was like, man, you know, you my favorite rapper. And then he retweeted me. He's like, man, you the one I've been looking for. And then we was cool ever since. You know what I'm saying? So, far as Snoop, I went to South by Southwest in 2016. I performed on a stage called Black Auerbach and Friends. It was a whole bunch of Long Beach cats in there, you know what I'm saying? And they just took a liking to me, and they had some videos of me performing. And by the end of South by Southwest, they rolled with me the whole time. You know what I'm saying? By the end of South by Southwest, they sent my music to Snoop, and he called me like 2 Mondays later from a private number. And he told me he wanted to sign me.
Damn. Hey, man, that hard work be paying off. Now, how does one go from wanting to be an entertainment lawyer to becoming an actual artist in the game? And did your law studies kind of help you out, especially with the Players Club music group?
Because I was at Georgia State University. That's where my rap career started at.
Okay.
And basically, I was just involved in everything on campus. Plus, I was a party promoter, and I'm a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. So, what was going on, I was deeply embedded in the culture of school. So one of my frat bros was like, and I was interning at Grand Hustle at the time because I wanted to be an entertainment lawyer. So I was interning at the label Grand Hustle, and then I was reading Kevin Lyle's book. I think it was called Make It Happen. I was reading that, so I knew I was gonna be in the music business, but I wanted to be on the executive side. And shoot, man, I was getting so much buzz on campus, like with the ladies and all that type of stuff. One of my frat brothers was like, man, you really need to rap. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't with it at first. I was like, nah, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? But then the more and more I thought about it or whatever, it just made sense. It's like everybody at Georgia State, they from different parts of Georgia and from different parts of the world. So that gives us a distribution system automatically. This is before DSPs. You know what I'm saying? So that gives us so many places I can touch by putting a CD in these folks' hands. You know what I'm saying? So I took a liking to it. We already had I had a clothing line called Bliss Clothing, and Jay Nix and E.T. the Dirty Boys, they was on another radio station at the time, and they were hosting all the Kappa parties. That's who we was paying to host our parties. So one day I went and dropped off a package of clothes, and I also dropped off my song. I was like, yo, I done started rapping. So they played the song. They hit me. It's like, look, you our boy, so we can't properly assess you without bias. We gonna let the world tell you what's up. So they put my song on Hot 107.9 Battlegrounds.
I remember Battleground. Battleground was dope.
Yeah, they let people say how they felt about it. And just so happened, I ended up, so many people started voting for me, I ended up getting retired off Battlegrounds. And that's when I knew, I was like, oh, no, I could really do this rap thing. Like, cause that was the second song I ever made. So I was like, man, I could really do the rap thing. And then what I did, I took some time off to putting out music. And I would ride the MARTA, because I stayed in the Bluff at the time. Our frat house was in the Bluff. So I would ride the MARTA from, what's that over there, Ashby, all the way to Kensington. So I would go from the west to the east, and I would write down in a composition book everything I seen. And then like some spots, I'd get off in the hood, just be writing. You know what I'm saying? Just because I wanted my pen to get right before I start putting out more music. Because at first I wanted to be a trendy rapper. But then as time went on, I was like, nah, I want to have something to say and have some substance. So I started doing that. Then I started back recording. And then I started putting out mixtapes with DJ Iceberg. So that's how it started.
Okay. All right, definitely. I heard you mention in the past the importance of integrity in terms of how you move and how you operate. How important is that for you in the entertainment business?
It means everything. 'Cause I feel like this is the business where people operate with the least amount of integrity in the world. So if you have morals and you have some type of integrity and you standing on some type of real business, you're gonna stand out. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so many people that's not operating with those type of ethics.
Yeah.
So it's that's like top 5 most important things to me. You know what I'm saying? It might be number 1. You know what I mean? But in this business, you know, you don't come across people who have a lot of sense all the time. And move with morals, and you know, everything in the music business is about getting over on the next person. And it ain't really got to be that, because it's so much bread and opportunity in the world, but the slave mentality of black folks got us thinking that it gotta be dog eat dog. It ain't really gotta be like that.
No, I totally agree. Now, how'd you end up hitting some steps in the Missy's Drip Demeanor video? I saw you out there, you know, looked like you were twirling, looked like a cane, doing your Nuke thing like that. Another iconic moment for you. Tell me how that came together.
I was dating one of her background dancers. So what happened was they kept auditioning Kappas, and they couldn't find what they was looking for. And you know, the chapter I come from, that's what we known for. Like, we used to be in all the videos, all the step shows, all the Hollywood type stuff. You know what I'm saying? That was us.
Okay.
So my girl came home one day and was like, I'm tired of auditioning these people. You need to come out of retirement, you and your partners. And I was like, nah, I'm cool. And then I thought about it. I'm like, this a way for me to get to know Missy without me having to push my music on her.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right. So we went to the audition. I got like 3 of my partners. We went to the audition, killed it, of course. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when we got picked. And then through that, I started building a relationship with Missy. And what happened was, one day she was like, all right, it was during our lunch break. She was like, talent show time. Who in here could rap or sing? I'm in the corner just twirling my cane, chilling. I think I was drinking a Gatorade or something like that. So everybody kept pointing at me. They was like, no, he popping in the city. Like, he could rap for real. So she came over to me and she asked me to rap. And I was like, nah. And she was like, you not gonna rap for me? I was like, that ain't what I'm here for. You know what I'm saying? But I knew me telling her that was gonna intrigue her. So she told me, she was like, she went home and looked me up on YouTube. So she came back the next day and she was like, all right, I see why you act like that. I see what you did there. You know what I'm saying? And me and homie been cool ever since. Like, every once in a while, if I catch her at the right moment, like if we on Twitter at the same time, I might drop a song or something. She'll retweet it. She'll say something under it. You know what I'm saying? Like, she rock with me, so it is what it is.
Oh, that's dope right there, man. Tell me about this movie, Cold Ass World, with, I think you said Webby, Rick Ross, Master P, Trina, and your partner in crime, Pimp Sweet Tooth. Tell me about your flick.
Well, what happened was I went to Take Off Tuesday over in East Atlanta Village. Me and Sweet Tooth, we was just trying out some new records we had just made. I was like, man, let's just go to the open mic and see what the reaction is to the records. Went to go do the show. Just so happened the director and one of the investors for the film was in the crowd. They was there looking at another one of their artists or whatever. So boom, we do our thing. Soon as we come on stage, they're like, yo, we want to put y'all in our movie.
Whoa.
So the next day we was on set. But then we did so good, they started writing us in the script. So every day we did better and better and better to the point where now our music is in the movie and we're seen in about 40% of the film. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that happened.
Wow. Now is that your first film project, or you've had some others?
Second, I had a role in a movie called Out on a Limb. Mm-hmm. That's out on streaming, Tubi, all those type outlets. That was my first role. It was actually executive produced and directed by some people from Savannah, the Okarikes. So they actually gave me a part, and they put one of my songs. They put one of my songs in the film as well. So that started it, and then now it's just I get new roles like every other month, for real. I get scripts I go over.
Oh, that's nice. Now, from what I'm seeing right now, you have an impeccable sense of style. Where did this come from? And of course, does being a Kappa play a part in that?
Definitely. I've been fly my whole life though.
Hey,
you know
talk that talk.
Like, but I think like I'm from the hood. Like I'm from Cloverdale in Savannah. So like we from the West Side. So like the West Side I went to Beach High. That's the school all the dope boys went to. So we like dope boy fashion, dope boy fresh. Like that been a lifestyle. Like we been 16, 15 years old, $300 pair of shoes. You know what I'm saying? Leather shorts, Gucci, Versace. You know what I'm saying? We been like that around my way. So I think that just carried over until when I went to college. And then when I became a Kappa, I took the dope boy fashion and I mixed it in with dandyism. You dig what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So it's like, so it went dope boy, Southern player, dandy. So that's the origin of the whole Clay James thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, it's definitely working, my brother. It's definitely popping. I like what you're doing over there right now, man. Upcoming music or some of the things you got coming out. Kickin' Pimpin' Volume 2. What's happening?
Yeah, that just dropped. I did Kickin' Pimpin' Volume 1 in 2015 with Sauce Lord Rich from FKI. FKI is most known for discovering and developing Post Malone, Iggy Azalea. They did a lot of work with Grand Hustle, Travis Scott, all type of people. So they were some more people who used to wear my clothing line back in the day. So when I started rapping, Sauce Lord Rich, he asked me to bring him some clothes one day. And then he was like, look, man, I'm going to help you with your music. So time went on. We started working on Kickin' Pimpin' 1, which I recorded out of Defiant Studios, which was owned by Grand Hustle. Did that, put that out. And then that kind of really put my buzz in the city, like as far as like indie music, on another level, because they were deeply rooted into all the next acts that came out of Atlanta. Like everybody was using their beats and their production and all that type stuff. So boom, me and Sauce Lord Rich, we built our relationship from that. And now I own a studio called Soundlink Studios off of Lakewood Avenue. Sauce is my lead engineer and my studio manager. And when you walk in the studio, you see a bunch of plaques. All them plaques is his. So we linked back up on the studio business. So it was only right we put out Kickin' Pimpin' Volume 2. And that's where we at with it. It's doing good too. Like I be outside in the city or whatever. Like I could be on Edgewood or Peter Street or like certain places. I could hear cars riding by playing it.
Project Platinum is what we call that.
Yeah, for sure.
I like that. I like that. Now, what's your affiliation to True Teller Productions with my girl Miriam Hyman, aka Robin Hood, and her team?
I met Robin Hood through Scotty ATL.
Scotty ATL.
Yeah, that my player partner or whatever. He introduced us, and we had a show together, and then Miriam records at my studio when she come in town. So we got music together or whatever. So we just been building a relationship, and Scotty introduced me to her because he knew I was venturing off into acting, and she really do that. So he knew that would be like a good person to mentor me. You know what I'm saying? Somebody I could talk to if I ever had questions about the acting situation. And it's never a one-sided thing because I know she do music. She got her label, so I be helping her, you know what I'm saying, with little things as far as music and her artists and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's my partner.
Yeah, Rick Owens. Shout out to Robin Hood and her team out there, man. They good people. We've had them on the platform before. We hung out with them at Scotty's place out there, too. So shout out to Truth Teller Productions.
Facts.
Now, how do you feel about the comparisons to Pimp C?
I used to ain't like it. I ain't want to be compared to nobody. You know what I'm saying? Because that's like 48 Laws of Power tell you to be careful about filling big men's shoes. And that's a big man in the South.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I would always veer away from it, but it's like it been haunting me. You know what I'm saying? And I be telling people, they be like, man, I could tell you used to listen to a lot of UGK growing up, and I didn't. I used to listen to Outkast. I didn't get up on UGK until they did Big Pimpin' with Jay-Z and when they did International Players Anthem with Big Boy and Dre. So I wasn't up on it like that. My uncles was listening to UGK, and then a lot of people in the hood was listening to UGK, but I wasn't up on it yet. I went back and listened once everybody started saying I sound like Pimp C. And then I was like, dang. And then I was in my car one day with my little boy. My little boy, he 12 now. He was probably 8 or 9 at the time. And I was jamming UGK. And I thought he had his headphones on the iPad, you know what I'm saying, doing his thing. And then he took his earphones off, and he was like, Daddy, this your new song? And it was UGK. I looked back. I was like, you think I sound like them? And he was like, I thought it was you. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to just lean into it and embrace it. I've had like Twitter conversations and stuff with Pimp C wife, you know what I'm saying? Shanara, you know what I mean? I don't know if I'm pronouncing the name right, but somebody had put her up on me or whatever. She gave me her blessing before. I believe when they was doing his autobiography.
Shout out to Julia Beverly.
She hit me up one time, and then she was actually at a showcase with the book when the book first came out. This when I was dealing with Grand Hustle real tough. She was at a showcase, and Amir Boyd, who was an executive at Grand Hustle at the time, he introduced me to her, and she embraced me as well. So it's like Amir, another person who think I sound like him. He loved Pimp. He loved Pimp, and he loved Scarface. And Scarface, another person I got a dope relationship with too. You know what I'm saying?
Spent some time with Scarface. He's dope.
He cool. He gave me some real game, man. He told me, he asked me one time, we was on the phone. He was like, what's your definition of trill? And I told him what it was, and he was like, well, that's not the definition. He's like, if you're going to say something and you're going to stand on something, make sure you know what it means. That was our first conversation. You know what I'm saying? So that my boy, he be showing me love on social media and stuff now too. You know what I'm saying? That my boy. But
Uncle Face.
But yeah, so I embrace it. It's all good. You know, ain't nothing I run from no more. I can't really help how I sound. I ain't, you know, it just is what it is. So we just gonna rock how we rocking. Big Crit, he used to run into the same thing when he first came out, and I seen how he moved with it gracefully. So I'm gonna just do the same thing.
Man, you in good company, man, and it's definitely a compliment. I ain't gonna lie, I thought the same thing when I started digging into the crates of your music and stuff. I was just like, yeah, I could see that. Y'all got a similar type of energy and flow, and of course your accent and everything like that. Yeah. But you clearly have your own style and your own lane. But no, it's definitely a compliment. Switching gears a little bit, you had a bar, and I might, make sure I try to say it right, and if correct me if I'm wrong. You had a bar where you said something that you were slicker than a can of oil, but you won't see no jail. Were you referring to Diddy or, just to something else?
Oh, no. I wasn't talking about no baby. I was just talking about in general. You know what I'm saying? Nah, not even. Yeah.
I was just checking. How you think that's going to turn out for you, man, Diddy, man?
I don't know. It's like every day you see something that every day I look on my phone. Every time I open up my Instagram or whatever, TikTok, whatever, I see something that I ain't want to know about that man. You know what I'm saying? And I grew up listening to Bad Boy. So it's like just outside of the obvious embarrassment that he causing to himself and his friends and family, it's hurting their legacy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they were so rich, their legacy so rich in hip hop that I just hated going down like that. But you make your beds, you gotta sleep in it.
No, true indeed. What you got popping for the summer?
Well, the movie gonna come out, Cold Last World. I have another film that's about to come out called Game Not Soul. That's with Feeling Rich. It was written by Fat Pimp. It was shot by High Def ATL. I'm in it. Feeling Rich is in it. Keisha Day is in it. It's a dope movie. It's like 30 minutes long. I'm getting ready to shoot another movie called 30-Year-Old Frat. I can't remember the name, but I just got the script from it from Young Tone. But we're going to start shooting that in July. I'm working on Kickin' Pimpin' Volume 3 right now. And that's pretty much my most immediate things. I'm going to be performing at the Greek Picnic in July. Shouts out to Tiwa and the Greek Picnic. They just locked in a big headliner for the concert. They just hit the contract back, so I ain't going to say who it is.
All right.
But I know the whole South going to come out for this. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to be opening up for this artist at the Step Show concert, and I'm going to perform at the Picnic concert. So that's going to be at the end of July. That's pretty much it. What I got going on, I'm just working on me, Players Club Music Group, my artists, Alex Ransom, Charlize J, Young Bo, King Elway, Sincerely Dad. They all got singles and EPs about to drop. I got my studio Sound Link. You know, we getting bigger and bigger every day. It's starting to become overbooked. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
So it's like, that's what I got going on. And I'm going to kick it with the bruhs this summer, travel. I was supposed to be in Houston today, but I ended up rescheduling my video shoot out there or whatever. So, yeah.
Yeah. For people who are not familiar with your movement and anything that you've done, what is the thing you want them to know about you? And of course, how do you want to be remembered overall, my brother?
I want to be remembered as somebody who cared about the craft, cared about the music, cared about representing the South in particular the right way. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times they think we slow and we dumb down here. You know what I'm saying? Especially with like the new music that's coming out. That ain't helping the case. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to just keep the foundation of what we was built on going. You know what I'm saying? And when I say the foundation, I'm talking about like that Outkast, that Goody Mob, that essence, that real soul and lyricism. You know what I'm saying? And not just speaking on fun stuff, but speaking on current events and things that our people overlooking as well. You know what I'm saying? It ain't really got to be about just on some player and pimping. It need to be about some substance too. You know what I'm saying? And I don't speak about drilling and killing. I don't do that at all because I feel like that's what they want us to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just remember me as somebody who put his partners on. Like every level I go up, I take my people with me. You know what I'm saying? I do a lot of stuff in the community with my bros. You know what I mean? So it's just remember me as a Renaissance man. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who stood on morals, great fashion. You know what I mean? And just that word we talked about earlier, integrity.
That'll work, man. Well, listen, we appreciate you falling through and giving us some of that player energy,
For sure.
showing us how you pull up in your old school at your old school.
Yeah,
I'm listening to your bars, my brother.
yeah.
Please tell everybody, please tell everybody where they can find you and find all that pimping on these platforms.
At Who Is Clay James. You can follow my studio at Players Club MG. That's Players, PLAYAS. You know what I'm saying? We spell it the Southern way. And at SoundLink Studios. SoundLink, LYNK_studios.
That'll work, man. Well, listen, make sure y'all continue to tap into the brother Clay James. Also, make sure you subscribe to Hip Hop United on the iHeart app. Select Hip Hop United, put us in the presets. We appreciate all the support. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Clay James has officially been checked in with Hip Hop United. Let's go.
For sure.